our series with a discussion about career paths in ELT leadership. And I'll be discussing with Kate Steenkamp from Apollo in Vietnam about this issue. So please join us for that. I've just mentioned our voices in ELT management, but here it is again, just to give you another opportunity to register, or you can register by clicking on the link in the chat as well. As always, you will receive a certificate from today's session. It will come in a thank you email. If you came on Thursday and are thinking, where's my thank you email from Thursday? Do not worry, it is coming soon. I've been told it will be there very, very soon. Okay, so you will get a certificate for today's session and Thursday's session. So without further ado, let's get Super up on the stage where she's going to deliver a masterclass to you on lesson planning for fun-based exam-based speaking activities. Super, you're there. Hi, Super.
Hi, Dal. Hi, everyone. Good to see you.
How are you today, Super? You all right?
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm very well, and I'm ready to go through the lesson plan with everyone and also focusing on the fun exam-based speaking practice for your learners together with one of our new course book series called Masterclass. And I wish we can have a very, very transferable lesson plan that you can use in your classroom to focus on your students' speaking exam practice as well.
Yeah, and as always, if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, if you have any ways, like Super's going to present, I know some great ideas, but if you have your own ideas, feel free to share them in the chat with everybody and participate in the session and give us some comments and some feedback as we go along. I'll be also keeping an eye on the chat. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat and I will ask Super in about 50 minutes time. Have a great session, Super. See you later. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
Yes, thank you very much, Del, for the introduction. And here is my screen. Wait a second. Let me share my screen with you. Oh, that's not the right screen. Wait a second. That is the right screen. Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to work through this lesson plan together today. And as Del mentioned, I do expect you to contribute your ideas throughout the process as well. So first of all, I'd like to ask a question about your students. So do you prepare your students for any kind of like speaking exam at the moment? Maybe do you have speaking tests in your school, in your institution? Do you test your students speaking using some of the exams or like assessment tools? Or do your students have some external exams to take, like the Cambridge Young Learners or the Cambridge Key A to Key 4 learners? Yes, yes, yes. I can see a lot of yes there. IELTS prepare as well. Yes. So the speaking exam, I think especially in Asia, Asian students are always very it's always very challenging for Asian students to take the speaking exams, especially with a real examiner talking to a foreigner. Yeah, in under the examination context, very stressful, very a high stake, and it's always a pain for a lot of our students. And also the teachers will struggle a little bit because we have large classes. We don't have many time in the class to prepare the students for the speaking exam, especially with real life communicative tasks. So in this session today, I am going to give you an example about how you can integrate like the speaking practice with real life meaningful speaking tasks with the exam preparation, because sometimes we don't have separate time for exam preparation, right? So we can integrate the speaking practice and have a focus on the exam. And also we have this brand new series called Optimize Stars. It is the design, the go-to like exam preparation course. So I will give you an example from Optimize Stars so that you can, yeah, take some ideas how you can integrate fun speaking practice with exam preparation. Okay, so without further ado, let me give you some background information about this lesson plan. So I'm going to use Optimize Stars. It's a exam preparation course for teenagers to prepare for the A2 key, B1 preliminary, and B2 first for schools exams. So this is a go-to exam preparation course designed for teenagers or slightly younger ones. Sometimes we have like maybe 4 to 6 grades from primary schools taking the A2 key for schools. So it varies the age group, but it really is a go-to exam preparation course for your students. And there are 4 levels from A2 to B1 to B1 plus all the way to B2. So it will cover the three like exams, and it's written by exam experts. So you will find a lot of useful exam preparation, like strategies and skills that you can use with your students. And the lesson today we are going to walk through is designed to help the students to speak confidently, both in the classroom but also in the exams as well. So we will have the two aims in mind. So the students will need to speak confidently in their real life, but at the same time in the exams as well. It's also designed to support, yeah, teenagers for the exam practice and having fun practicing for the exams as well. It's very important to make the exam preparation fun and motivating, especially to encourage them to speak. Yeah, that's the key. And then lastly, we want to support teachers with some complete lesson plans that you can use and transfer into some of your lesson plans with some of our resources created for exam preparation using optimize stars. Okay, so that is the lesson plan. We're going to, yeah, the objectives of this lesson plan. And the lesson I am going to use is from the B1 level. So it's the unit 2 of the B1 level from Optimize Stars called Around the World. So the lesson unit, the unit topic is about like travel, about like going around the world, understanding different places, different cultures. Yeah, with reading, writing, speaking, and listening. All these lessons together with vocabulary and grammar, the whole lesson. And I will show you the whole unit really quickly as well. But the whole lesson I am using is the speaking lesson. It will, as you can see on the screen, the speaking lesson, it has a focus on the discussion part for describe pictures and discuss about suggestions, giving suggestions. So it has a link to the exam. So as you can see from the speaking lesson here, the task is to have 2 pictures, the 2 pictures, and to talk about the pictures, to describe the pictures. Do you remember which part of the exam, the speaking like test, will have a task like this to look at pictures and to describe pictures? Do you remember? Let me know in the chat if you can recall which part of the speaking like exam from the B1 preliminary for schools exam. Yeah, I'm going to give you a second to recall which part of the speaking exam. We're going to hand like 1 picture to 1 student, and they're going to describe their own pictures and then moving on to a discussion part. So that is the B1 preliminary for schools, the speaking part 2. And in part 2, the 2 students in the speaking exam, they're going to describe that picture, a photograph, talk for about 1 minute, like individually. And after this round, they're going to move to part 3, which is the discussion part. So in this discussion part 3, they're going to make and respond to suggestions, discuss alternatives, and negotiate agreements. So the lesson we are going to do today will have a special focus on this part 3 discussion part. So we're going to prepare students for the part 3 of the B1 preliminary for schools speaking test. So they will learn how to make suggestions in this lesson. So you will find, yeah, the link between the lesson and the exam. So remember, the objective for the exam preparation for today is to make suggestions in a discussion, which is from the part 3 of the B1 preliminary for schools speaking test. Okay, that is the exam focus for this lesson plan. So with this in mind, we're ready to, yeah, roll out for the lesson planning together. So I will give you the background, the context about this lesson plan. So this is a B1 level like a book. So we will have the students level at around B1, and they're around like 13 to 16 years old at the teenager like level, which is, yeah, more or less similar to the context in Asia. Our students will be around maybe A2 to B1 level in the secondary like sector. And also we will have 30 students in the class, which is relatively, yeah, not too large, but still a very large size class. And the class duration will be around 90 minutes. You can have a short break in between, but you can also have the whole like session for 90 minutes. And the whole skill focus will be speaking, and the exam skill will be focusing on making suggestions. Okay, making suggestions. So that is the context for this lesson, the students' profile, and also your classroom setting. And for the learning goals, we will definitely, the students will definitely be able to make suggestions using appropriate phrases to make suggestions in a discussion and prepare for that B1 preliminary for schools speaking test part 3. And also there is another thing we want to focus, which is the key expressions for what to say if they don't understand something in a speaking exam. So that is a strategy, exam strategy that we want to help the students with when they are in an speaking exam, which can cause some of the anxieties, and they need to take some strategies to manage that kind of situation. That is to ask for clarification during the exam with their peers or with the examiners. And for the materials you need, we're going to use the B1 like a unit 2 around the world, but also I will prepare some pictures of travel destinations. I'm going to print out some activity worksheets for the students. As we go through the activities, I will show you how to use these worksheets. And also there will be a video, which is quite common for a speaking lesson, because we want to show the students the conversation, and also to provide a context and also a model for the students to imitate and understand what they are going to speak about and how they can practice from the video. So there will be a video, and also together a video worksheet for them to watch the videos and help them understand the videos, so that we will do some activities based on that video together. So that is all of the context. And let me know if you have different contexts, if you have some other special considerations that you need to take. Yeah, you can feel free to share in the chat about your context, and we can have a quick discussion if there's any special needs. Okay, so with this in mind, here is the 90-minute lesson plan, and I'm going to walk you through one by one. But first of all, let's have an overview to look at the whole 90-minute lesson plan, how it is structured. So from the left column, you can see we will have a warm up for around 10 minutes, and then moving on to the speaking video. We will spend 30 minutes on the video. Yeah, which is a really good like input for the students before they go to make output, right? So the video will be there as an input, and we will do many activities together. And there will be an exam skill and exam like a strategy focus. So exam skills for 15 minutes, and for optimized exam, optimize your exam. That is the exam strategy part. So we will have 15 minutes each to focus on these exam skills and strategies. And at the end, we will have 20 minutes for the students to do the final speaking task, which is to make output, to produce their language. So that is a breakdown of these stages. Yeah, so for the speaking video, we will have before watching, while watching, and after watching. Yeah, we will have different activities based on different objectives to achieve by watching the video. And for the skills and the strategies for the exams, we will have special focus on making suggestions and ask for repetition and clarification. So that is a breakdown of these stages again into specific activities. So we will walk through them like one by one. So follow me to go through this 90-minute lesson plan, and I will show you how to do these activities with your students and how to set up these activities with the resources we have from Optimize Stars. And together we can think about how you can transfer these activity ideas into your classroom and into your context. Okay, so first of all, I want you to have a quick look at the previous lessons before the speaking lesson, because there will be a lot of exposure to the topic, a lot of exposure to the language, the grammar, the vocabulary in the previous lessons before the speaking lesson. So you can see this is the unit 2, around the world, and we will talk about different things around the world, of course, and about traveling, about holidays, about culture, yeah, about different things happening around the world. And then you can see there will be some exam focus in each lesson. For example, the reading lesson, we will have an exam focus of the 4 option multiple choice. And we also will focus on different grammar structures. For example, we will learn how to use the present perfect and simple and the continuous a grammar in the grammar lesson. And also we will have vocabulary. We will have listening and the grammar too as well. So there will be a lot of language exposure, a lot of content exposure before we move on to the speaking lesson. So the students will have a lot of grammar and vocabulary ready to use before they move on to the speaking lesson. So that is the previous lessons before the speaking lesson. So that's how we structure, yeah, lessons in a unit in Optimize Stars. So now let's move on to the speaking lesson. So we have talked about the whole picture, right? So now let's have a focus on the first part, which is the warm-up part. So for this warm-up part, I have prepared an interview task for your students to, of course, activate their previous knowledge about the vocabulary and grammar, and also get them interested in the speaking task. So get them warmed up and remind them what they have learned in the previous vocabulary and grammar lessons, and also talk to each other. Yeah. So we're going to do this activity called Find Someone Who. I think it's a very classic activity. So we do a lot of find someone who interviews in our speaking lessons. But for this part, for this special lesson, we want to focus on the grammar, which is the present perfect for experience. So we have learned it in the previous grammar lesson, right? So I want to review these grammar structures by asking students to do this activity. And together, they need to find out information about their classmates, to talk to as many of their classmates as possible. So you will ask your students to mingle. So ask them to stand up, walk around the classroom, asking questions of their classmates to find someone who fit each box like below. So the question would be, have you ever been to somewhere? So to find out whether they have been to some places or not. It's more about holiday destinations. So they're going to ask their classmates about, have you ever been to a beach? Have you ever been to a camping site? Have you ever been to a water park? But also you can add something different, because not everyone has been to every place, right? We can twist a little bit to make it like, have you haven't you been to like a shopping mall? So you will need to find someone who hasn't been to a shopping mall, who hasn't been to a forest, who hasn't been to a water park. So not only who have been to a place, but also find someone who hasn't been to a place. So they can only use the same name for one box once. So they need to go like around the classroom to talk to at least nine, yeah, nine of their classmates. But also you can make this table like bigger. You can make them like 16 like boxes or even more, or reduce the number of the boxes if your students are still like if you don't have enough time. Yeah, if you want to add time, you can add boxes. But if you can reduce, you can also make the activity slightly shorter and easier. So depending on your context, yeah, depending on your students' like experience, you can change this activity and adapt it into your classroom like planning. And the idea is you ask your students to interview each other and talk about their experiences, use the grammar structure, and also to speak as much as possible using the target vocabulary and also target grammar structure. So that is the first interview task for the warm up stage. After the interview, after your students has got all the names in these boxes, you can ask students to stand up and share, and also to check the information they have collected. And they can also share the information in pairs or in small groups. Yeah, depending on your time, on your classroom setting, you can do different sharing like information activities after the interview. So you can prepare, yeah, the interview worksheet for your students, or you can ask them to create this worksheet in the classroom. Yeah, you can change the destinations a little bit, but the idea is there. So for you to ask your students to chat with each other and to do this warm-up activity. And you will see how this activity can link with the following like content we're going to focus on. So yeah, let me know if this activity will work for your classroom. Yeah, give me a thumb up, or yeah, drop a message in the chat to see if this is a good activity for your classroom. Yes? Okay, yes, thank you for the thumbs up. Cool. So the warm up, that's it. And with this activity, warming up, and we will move on to the content with the video. So from Optimize Stars, for each speaking lesson, we will have a video there. So this video is more like an input for the students to get some ideas of what they're going to talk about, and also have to have fun as well, because watching videos could always be fun, and also there will be a lot of interesting information in this video. So I'm going to show you how we can use videos in the classroom, because playing a video could be a little bit challenging for the students to understand, and also could be a little bit dry if you just play the video for playing the video. So we need to make the full use of the video. So you can always break the video into before watching, while watching, and after watching, stages to achieve different objectives. For example, for the before watching stage, you can use some activities to activate students' prior knowledge, and also to do some personalization as well. So the students will make connections between the video with their own life. That will activate their motivation and interest to watch the video as well. So let's see what we can do before watching the video. So the first activity is to ask the students to look at these pictures and to think about what are the destinations they can go on a family summer holiday. So here are some pictures for the students to look at. You can also pre-teach these vocabulary all these phrases to your students to activate their prior knowledge and also to ease the difficulty for them to understand the video. So for example, here you can use these visuals to tell your students like they can go to a beach, they can visit a museum, they can go to a water park, they can go to the zoo or go to the shopping mall. So this is to use visuals to activate students' prior knowledge and also to pre-teach the vocabulary and the phrases for the students to understand the video. And then after that, to make it more personalized. So ask students to think about if they are going on a going on a family summer holiday with their siblings, cousins, their parents, their even their like uncles or aunties. Yeah, ask them to think about if they are going on a holiday like this, they need to rank the 5 destinations on this page, like which place they want to visit most from their own perspective, which place they want to visit most and rank these 5 destinations. Yeah, to personalize a little bit, to ask them to tell their partner, maybe they can work in pairs or work in small groups, to tell their partners like which one they want to visit most, and also to make it a little bit even more personalized. If they're going on that summer family holiday with their cousins or siblings, maybe younger ones, maybe older ones, yeah, to imagine if their younger siblings, for example, or cousins are going on that holiday with them, what would be their top one destination to visit? Yeah, it could be a little bit different for younger ones and older ones. So to compare the list, yeah, maybe the younger ones want to visit the zoo most, but for them, they want to visit the water park most. And also to think about the parents. If their parents are going on that summer holiday with them, which would be the top one, which place would be the top one? Maybe the beach or the museum. Yeah, it's just to ask the students to personalize these information to make connections between the video they're going to watch with their own personal life, to make that connection so that they can link what they're going to watch with what they're going to talk about. Okay, so that is the personalization activity, which is to rank the travel destinations with them, and also to personalize about their own parents, their own siblings or cousins, and their own preferences as well. Okay, so after this round, the students should be able to be engaged with the topic, to be activated with their activated with their vocabulary, and also to make some connections between what they're going to watch. And also you can ask them to write down. So after these discussions, to make some notes about what they have just talked about. So you can use some pictures to help the students to think about the activities the kids, the grown-ups, and also the parents, the adults want to visit to do on a family summer holiday. And they can write at least like 2 activities for each age group. And then, yeah, with this list, they're going to watch the videos. So before watching, we spend around 10 minutes to ask the students to talk about, to pre-teach the vocabulary, to personalize, and also to make some notes on the video worksheet before they actually start watching the video. Okay, so this is the 10 minute for the students to get prepared before watching the video. So always, yeah, do some pre-watching activities to warm the students up about the video. So after the before watching activities, we then move on to watch the video, actually, to use that video to ask students to watch for different information. So as you can see, I have 3 activities for the students to do while watching the video. So the first activity is mainly for watching for main ideas and key language structures. So starting from the easy ones, yeah, focusing on the main idea and the key language structures, what we want the students to focus. And then for the second round of the watching, we ask the students to watch for details. So some detailed information they need to find in the videos. And for the last round, there will be some video skills. So while watching videos, we need to train the students' skills for video watching. For example, in this video, we're going to focus on some facial expression like observation, and also to link these facial expressions with the students, with the video characters like feelings. So that is a skill the students can use while watching different kinds of videos, and also it's very useful for students to when they communicate with real like people in their real life. So that is a three-stage like watching process. So let's dive into this 15-minute while watching activities, and I'm going to play the video for you. So you will be my students now, and please follow me to do these activities together, okay? So we will have this video called What Do You Think About? It's from Optimized Stars speaking lesson, and we will usually have different like tasks on the book, right? Together with the video. So for example, we have the first task for students to watch and answer the questions for comprehension checking. So we focus on some of the main like information, main ideas. For example, the students are going to get these information. For example, what has Sophie been doing in her first week in Portugal? Yeah, there's a girl called Sophie and she's in Portugal. You need to find out what has she been doing, and also who wants to go to the shopping center. As you can see, these vocabulary has already been like activated for the students. For example, shopping center, and also we need to find out who want to go to the shopping center for the first like video watching, and where do Sophie's friends think she should go. So there will be some friends of Sophie, and Sophie, they will suggest Sophie to go someplace. So find out where. And the last question would be, where do Sophie and her cousins decide to go? So what's the final decision for Sophie and her cousins to go? Yeah, which is also a place, right? So we have activated students like prior knowledge about these places. So it will ease the students like difficulty about watching for these main ideas. And then for the second activity, it's more about like focusing on the key language structures. Remember, the focus is to make suggestions, right? So we want the students to watch the video and find out the phrases that they can hear about making suggestions. So the students will choose the phrases they hear in the video about making like suggestions. So when we watch for the first round, if you want to make these activities more interactive, more fun, you can ask the students to walk in pairs. So you will have student A and student B. So they work together as a pair. And you ask a student A to watch for the main ideas. You ask a student B to watch for the key phrases for the first round of the video watching. And then after that, they're going to exchange the information. So that creates an opportunity for the students to talk to each other and also to work together as a pair and focusing on the main ideas and key language structures together for the first round. So yeah, now in the chat, get ready for the first round of the watching, and I'm going to ask you to focus on the main ideas and the key language structures. So feel free to drop the answers in the chat, yeah, for the first and second task. So here's the video for you.
This article is really interesting. It's about learning to surf on holiday.
Cool. What do you think about surfing holidays, Jamie?
I've never been surfing, and I don't ever want to go surfing. My mum's been trying to get me to go on a sporting holiday for years, but I'm not really keen on that stuff.
Isn't Safi on holiday at the moment?
Yeah, she's been in Portugal for a week.
I bet she's been lying on the beach, swimming in the sea, eating delicious food.
Visiting ruined castles and bird watching. And I'm interested in castles and birds, so what?
I'm looking forward to my holiday. Maybe we could message Safi and ask her what she's been doing.
Hi guys!
Hiya!
Hi.
How's it going in Portugal? Is it sunny?
What have you been doing?
Oh, you know, holiday stuff. We've been lying on the beach, swimming in the sea, eating out.
No old buildings or bird watching?
No, but I do want to ask you something.
Sure. What do you need help with?
Well, we've been here for a week and we've been going to the beach every day.
Sounds great.
Well, I'm here with my cousins, and last night us kids decided we want to do something different. We could go to a water park, but I've been to water parks before. Some of the younger kids want to go to the zoo, but I don't like zoos. Some of the older kids really like the idea of going shopping, but I don't have much money left. The grown-ups want to visit a museum. What should we do?
Oh, she's gone. Okay, what should she do?
She could go to the water park. Water parks are great.
Yes, they are, but only if you like water parks. It might be interesting for her to go to the museum. She could learn something.
She said that adults want to go to the museum.
Okay, then how about a shopping trip? That might be a good idea.
Maybe they could go to 2 places. Say the zoo and then shopping.
But she doesn't want to do either of those things.
In that case, there's only one choice.
You can definitely make pauses at places where you think your students need some time to, stop and write down their answers or think twice. Depending on your students' situations, make adjustments because this video is a little bit long. You can break them down and play a clip of it, and also to stop at some point to make them the students to follow the videos easily. And let's continue and finish the video together. Feel free to drop your answer in the chat, about the comprehension questions and also the phrases.
Oh, she's back.
So, the water park is fully booked. The museum is closed. No one wants to go to the zoo anymore, and we've missed the bus to the shops.
What are you going to do?
Well, we've decided it might be a good idea to go to the beach.
Okay, so that is the video part. So if you do have any videos like this in your classroom for your speaking lesson, think about how you should prepare your lesson, plan your lesson based on this video. Because a video like this for around maybe 2 minutes long, it could be a little bit cognitive, overloading for your students to watch. If you don't get them warmed up, if you don't prepare them for the vocabulary and language, it could be overloading for them to comprehend the information, and also the language could be too challenging for them to follow. So all the warm-up activities, the before watching activities are all designed to get them ready to watch this video and understand what's being talked about in the video. So if you remember the first warm-up activity for the interview, who has done something, they will already be familiarized with the vocabulary and also about going on a family holiday and thinking about different people in their family who wants to visit which place and who might be liking this place. It's all designed based on this video. And for the before watching activity, we review the vocabulary again and also make some list and guess some of the information before watching the activity or watching the video. And then while they get the opportunity to watch this video, they will focus on different like levels of information. For the first level, they only observe and find out the main ideas. For example, what has Sophie been doing in her first week in Portugal? What has she been doing? So did you get the information? Swimming, eating out, yeah. And also going to the beach, yes, very good. Thank you for the answer in the chat. And also, what about the who wants to go to the shopping center? The older kids, right? The older kids. And also, what did the friends say? So where do Sophie's friends think she should go? She should go to the water park. That's right. And where do Sophie this and her cousin decide to go at the end? So they have decided to go to the beach because everything else has been, yeah, has been closed, or they have missed the bus, and they have, yeah, they won't be able to go to the other places. That's right. And for the language focus, yeah, did you hear the phrases about making suggestions? Which phrases did you hear for the first round? I think everyone's focusing on the student A task, but for the student B task, you didn't really, yeah, pay attention, but it's okay. But the idea is you can ask the students to walk in pairs, and the A student will be doing the comprehension, and B student will be doing the language, like focus, and then they can exchange information. So that is a way to reduce the cognitive loading for the students as well. So the students will be able to focus on their own task, and after that they can change information and talk to each other to exchange the information, and that gives them opportunities to talk to their peers, and also to exchange to practice their speaking as well. Okay, so this is the first round. For the second round, you are going to ask your students to watch for details. So with the main ideas in mind, the students will be able to dive into the details. So the second activity on the video worksheet would be watch the video and make a list of the 10 different holiday activities that the 4 students mentioned. So it's not only Safi, we also have Jamie, Maddie, and Angus. So they have mentioned different types of activities they can do on a holiday. So you probably have already heard what Safi has been doing, right? Going to the beach, going to the water park, visiting the museum, and also going on shopping. Yeah, going on shopping. But pay attention to what Angus, Mandy, and Jamie say about activities they can do during a summer holiday like trip. Okay, so I will play the very first part. So pay attention to the details and note down the activities for students, the 4 students have mentioned.
This article is really interesting. It's about learning to surf on holiday.
Cool. What do you think about surfing holidays, Jamie?
I've never been surfing, and I don't ever want to go surfing. My mum's been trying to get me to go on a sporting holiday for years, but I'm not really keen on that stuff.
Isn't Safi on holiday at the moment?
Yeah, she's been in Portugal for a week.
I bet she's been lying on the beach, swimming in the sea, eating delicious food.
Visiting ruined castles and bird watching. And I'm interested in castles and birds, so what?
I'm looking forward to my holiday. Maybe we could message Safi and ask her what she's been doing.
Yes, so did you get some other activities about what Angus, Mandy, and Jamie says about what to do on a holiday? I think they mentioned something really interesting like bird watching, yes, visiting castles, yes, old buildings, right? And also we have learning to surf, yes, surfing like trip, surfing holiday, and also some kind of sports. I think Jamie mentioned her mom wants to get him on a sports like a holiday, right? Yes. Yeah, you can make a very long list like eating delicious food. Yeah, together with what Safi has been doing in Portugal, right? She's been lying on the beach, swimming in the sea, and also visiting the museum. Yeah, going on shopping. Yeah, and stuff like that. So ask the students to make a list focusing on the details of the video. And also, again, you can ask them to compare this list with the first list that they made in the before watching activity. So let's go back to see this like list. So they actually have made a list for kids, for grown-ups, for kids and grown-ups, what they like to do on a family summer holiday. They can compare this list with the list they have just made here by watching the video and hearing about what these four kids are talking about. Yes, very good. So this is the second round of video watching. I didn't play the video like for you, the whole video for you because we don't have that much time. But the idea is for you to ask the students to watch for details, okay? And then moving on to the video skills. So the third round of the video watching is to focus on some skills that the students can use and transfer to any other videos they watch or any other like real life communication they do when they're facing someone. So the idea is to understanding how people feel. So they observe the students like facial expressions in the video. They will need to understand the feelings of these characters, whether they are excited, they're interested or not interested, or even annoyed. So they will need to look at whether they are smiling, whether they are nodding their heads, whether they are not smiling, or even whether they talk louder and maybe use like criticizing like expressions like so what. So this is a time to focus the students attention to these video skills, to watch the people's facial expressions, to understand what the characters are feeling, to yeah to make them aware, yeah, make your students aware what the characters are doing, their behaviors, their facial expressions, and their expressions of words. So you need to make your students aware and talk your students through these skills, and also ask them to watch the video again by completing these video skills tips. Yeah. So for example, Angus, when he's talking about surfing, what is he feeling? Is he excited? Is he interested? Yeah, and about Jamie's talking about castles and bird watching, right? But maybe Angus and Mandy is a little bit like suspicious about his hobbies, and Jamie got a little bit annoyed. Yeah, annoyed. So the idea is to put your students' attention to these small like details for them to focus on this video skills. Yeah, I think by watching videos, the students will not only get to understand the words, the language, but also to get to the underlying messages by watching these people's behaviors and facial expressions. So that's something we should be like guide our students to watch by using videos in the classroom. Yeah, some video skills for the third round. Okay, so that is the end for the while watching. Now let's move on to the speaking video like after watching. So this is quite quick. For this stage, it's only like 5 minutes. So the idea is to wrap up, to do a final check on the comprehension and the key language structures. So we on the video worksheet from Optimize Stars, we will have this after watching activity for the students to match the first half of the sentence to the second half of the sentences. Yeah, you don't even have to play the video again because at this stage, students will usually, yeah, be able to do this matching activities and also to check. You can just ask questions to check the students' understanding again and also to focus on the language structures because it's all about making suggestions, right? What do you think about going? What do you think about surfing holidays? Maybe we could go to two places. How about like a shopping trip. Maybe they could go message, or maybe they should message Safi, something like that. Yeah, to check on the understanding and also to focus on the language structure. There's some grammar there again. So the idea is to focus on how to make suggestions and how to use these languages, and also how to understand the videos. Yeah, so a final check on the comprehension and the language structures would be good for this after watching activity. Okay, then we will move on to focus on the exam skills. So for the speaking video, we have done like 3 rounds of activities. Now it's time to focus on some other like exam focus. We have focused on the language more in the video, but now let's see what to do with the exam skills of making suggestions. So in this lesson, the students will need to look at these 2 pictures first, right? And they're going to work in pairs and groups to look at the 2 photos and discuss the questions. They need to talk about the 2 pictures. What are the people doing in these 2 photos? What equipment do they need to do these activities? So the idea is you can hand these 2 pictures to student A and B again, because they can work in pairs, right? But also they can work in small groups if you want. But the idea is to give them the pictures and ask them to describe the picture to each other. You can ask a student to do a demo with you first, and then ask the other groups or the other pairs to work together. And after that part, we need to focus on the exam skills, which is
Unit 2. Speaking.
Wait a second.
Exercises 4 and 5.
Wait a second. Yeah, you are going to ask your students to do the task. So the exam skills is about how to make suggestions, right? So the students will hear an audio first about how this suggestions are made. So they are going to look at this picture and also the description here. It's about a boy is leaving his school because his family is moving to another town, and the classmates are going to buy a gift, a present for him. And that boy likes to do skateboarding, cycling, and football. So the classmates are talking about different presents they can buy to give to that boy, which can help with his hobby, like skateboarding or cycling or football. So you can see there are a lot of equipments here, right? So the students will hear an audio first, and then they will understand how this conversation is going on about making suggestions, like suggesting which present to give to that boy. So that will be an example for the students to hear again. That's another input actually for them to understand what to do. So let's hear the audio for really quick.
A boy is leaving his school because his family is moving to another town.
What do you think about the cycling helmet?
They're quite expensive, aren't they? And maybe he's got one already.
Yes. How about a pair of gloves?
Can you say that again, please?
They could buy some gloves, to protect his hands when he's skateboarding.
Well, it's the same problem that he may have some already.
Yes, so that is an example of how to make suggestions, like how about, what about. So the idea is you can prepare the students to listen to the audio again. If you think the vocabulary could be a challenging part for your students, you can ask your students to match the picture with the vocabulary before they start listening to that audio. Yeah, it's always good to get your students ready before they watch a video or listen to an audio. So if the vocabulary can be challenging for them, prepare. Yeah, do a matching activity before they listen. And after getting these vocabularies, and you can ask your students to listen for the first round. The first round of the listening will focus on the main ideas again. Yeah, so you listen for main ideas first. So the main ideas would be which things do they say might be a good idea, which things do they say aren't a good idea. So the students are only going to listen to good and not good ideas. Yeah, not the details, but the main ideas. Yeah, they just need to note down the items which are good and which are not good ideas. And for the second round of the listening, we listen for details. So ask the students to write the phrases that they hear about making suggestions. So focusing on detailed language structures of making suggestions. Yeah, they have heard it actually for a lot of times, but for this second round of listening, they need to write down the phrases. And after
Unit
that,
2. Speaking.
after that, you can give them the list of phrases they can use to make suggestions, to guide them to write down their own list and to help them to come up with a list that they can use to do the final speaking task. So that is the exam focus. So for every speaking lesson for our optimized stars, we all have an exam skill focus. So for this lesson, we focus on making suggestions. So that is the exam skill box we will have in that lesson to help the students to get ready with making suggestions in the exam tasks. And also you can link this task to make it more personalized. I think it's good to personalize again. So for example, you can name this boy to a classmate in your class, or even to make it yourself. So you can say, okay, Super is leaving this school. And Super likes to cycle, likes to travel. So make yourself as one of the tasks and link it to the task itself to make connections between the task with the student's real life, someone they really know, and to make it more personalized in the task. This is a way to get the students to do the task more in a more motivating way. Yeah. And after that, we will have the strategies for optimize your exam. So after focusing on the exam skills, we have an exam strategy part called optimize your exam. So for this lesson, we actually, the strategy is about how to ask for repetition and clarification in an speaking exam if you don't understand what the examiner or what the other candidate is talking about. So this is more of a strategy that the students can use. So every time we introduce a strategy for the students, for example, we can practice again. So you can use these pictures again to ask your students to do practice using these strategies. For example, you ask your students to describe, you can ask them to work in a team or work in pairs. You show one student the card of that item, for example, the helmet. And that students will need to describe this helmet using vague language to the other student or to their team without saying it. For example, it protects your head when cycling. So that gives the students a chance to ask for clarification. For example, if the partner is guessing that item, they need to ask, do you mean something? Or can you say that again? So the idea is to use the activity to practice that strategy for ask for repetition or ask for clarification. You can use the items from the book. You can use some other items as well, depending on how you want to engage your students. The idea is you use a game to ask your students to practice for this strategy, ask for clarification or ask for repetition. Yeah. Can you say that again? Do you mean the helmet? Do you mean the helmet for cycling? Yeah, it is an opportunity to make the speaking practice more fun and at the same time to practice that strategy, speaking strategy in the classroom and help them with the exam preparation. Yes, and for the last part, it's the time and it's the final task. So with all these warm-up, speaking video, exam skills, and exam strategies, I think the students are very well prepared to do the final speaking task. you can put them in pairs or put them into a small group, to do this task and make suggestions. It's all about making suggestions on buying a present for a classmate. So as I said, you can personalize this activity to make it more relevant to your student's context. For example, on the book, it's about a boy who's leaving school. You can give a name to this boy. Use a classmate in your classroom as that boy. You can use yourself as that person who's leaving school and ask your students to buy a gift. You can use the students like families or cousins, to make it more personalized, to think about what to buy and what gift to give to that boy or to that person. The idea is to practice and to do a final output task of making suggestions. The students need to discuss in pairs or in small groups and come up with a final decision about what to buy. Making suggestions with each other and come into an agreement at the end. And for the extension, of course, you can do this activity for several rounds if you have time. You can ask the students to do self-evaluation or peer evaluation for the first round. They can mark themselves from 1 to 5. And then they need to do the task again for the second round with another partner or another group. And the purpose is to improve that self-evaluation mark. So if you have more time, if you have the size of the classroom, you can do the activity for more rounds to improve the students' like final output task performance. So that is the whole lesson plan. So the idea is how you can combine the language practice with the exam, and also to have fun during the whole lesson, and to personalize, to make these practice more interactive and engaging, to have pair work and group work where possible, and also to improve the students' confidence in their exam, speaking exam and test as well. So thank you very much for the time. So feel free to scan this QR code or use the link in the chat to give us some feedback. And feel free to drop any questions in the chat as well. We're going to have some time for a quick Q&A, I suppose. Hi, Del.
Thank you very much, Shib. Really, really nice. It's very interesting, isn't it? Making those exam tasks kind of interesting and fun. And Anna has put her hand up. Anna, if you put your hand up to ask a question, can you put it in the chat or in the Q&A tab? But at the moment, there are no questions. But what would you say with these speaking exams? What would you say? And I'm not sure if you've had experience when children or teenagers, I should say, are lacking confidence. What advice would you give to teachers to really sort of like build their confidence in these speaking exams?
Sorry, Del, I missed your question. I think my internet is unstable, so I didn't hear the last question.
So I'm thinking about confidence when students are taking these exams. What advice would you give to teachers to give them confidence when they come to take these exams?
I think practice makes perfect. If the students don't have opportunities to practice enough and to get themselves familiarized with these exams, it's definitely very intimidating and very inconfident for them to go to these exams. So as I said, it's how we can create opportunities for these practice to be happening in the classroom. So if we can put the practice into a more real, life meaningful way, we didn't make them feel like an exam, but at the same time, we're preparing them for the exam would be a good balancing way to do it. But I know in a lot of our classrooms, we just don't have the time for the speaking practice to be happening. That is probably the underlying, challenging for most of our students and class and teachers. So I think create opportunities for practice, make them relevant and less intimidating for the students, and allow time for them to use their own information and to express their own feelings. So that is more of a culture building, and also to make the classroom a safe place for them to
Right.
speak and to express. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we haven't got any other questions, but yeah, you can see here is the QR code. Please fill in the survey. It's very important to us. We do listen to your feedback. It does feed back into the sessions that we deliver for you throughout the year. So make sure you click on the link in the chat or scan the QR code here. I just want to remind you before I go and leave you, Super, you can take a little break and have a drink of water or something. Super's going to come back in a moment to deliver the showcase. But I just want to remind you about our session that's coming up on Thursday. Give
Yeah.
me a second.
So
Can you see the slide or
yeah.
not? You can see that, yeah?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Give
Not
me a
yet.
second.
You can share. Yeah.
Here we go. I think I've got it now. There we are. Yeah.
Yes.
So please come along on Thursday for the final of our spring webinars, where myself and Kate Steenkamp are going to be discussing about leadership, and mainly about career paths that you can take if you're interested or in becoming an ELT manager, or you're already a manager and you want to listen to what we have to say about that topic. So please join us or share with your friends and colleagues that we will be here on Thursday as well. So I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I will say goodbye now and leave you back into Super's hands, who is going to take you through a showcase now of the material that she was using, Optimized Stars. So see you all. Thank you very much. And Super, over to you again.
Yes. So if you're interested in the materials I used for that lesson plan, I think we are going to have a time together to look at how it actually is designed to help you with teenager students exam preparation. It's a very, very new product, a course book we have launched in 2025, and it's a new version of our popular go-to exam preparation course called Optimize. Now it's being upgraded into the new version called Optimize Stars, and it's a 4-level British English teenager exam preparation course. The CEFR level is from A2 to B2 level, so covering the A2 key for schools, B1 preliminary for schools, B2 first for schools exams. So that is the go-to exam preparation course I'm going to go through with you. And I'm going to use our AI tool, Maya, to go through that course with you to show you how we have designed the whole course and what's behind the methodology. Okay, so are you ready? We're going to take a journey, on Optimize together. So let's have a look at what is Optimize Stars and how we are trying to support teenager learners with exam preparation and together balance the language learning, the fun part of the language learning, and also the exam preparation, stress as well. So let's have a look at the 5 key areas I'm going to give you some information about. So first of all, it's about student engaging content for teenagers. So we're aiming at teenager students, so we understand what the teenager students' interests are. So we're going to basically design everything for teenagers or slightly younger ones, maybe 5 to 6 year grades students in primary schools as well. But it's all about attracting their interest. It's all about how to engage them with relevant content. And also the exam part is definitely the key. Wait a second. We have exam preparation at heart in Optimized Stars. So there will be exam skills and the strategies everywhere in the lessons, in the units, and a lot of exam preparation materials and resources ready to use for students and teachers. And also we will have the students' well-being in mind, because when preparing for courses, for exams, the students could be stressful, could lose interest, could be demotivated. So we want to take care of students' like mindsets. We want to take care of their well-being. We want them to feel comfortable preparing for the exams, and we want them to feel good. And also we have a very comprehensive program. Optimized Stars is the like 4 levels for teenagers, right? But we also have the primary like course, which is called Academy Stars. It's a 10 level like course program for exam preparation. So the students can start from primary ages all the way to secondary to prepare their exam to get ready for exams. And also lastly, we have good like next generation platforms for students to be engaged with digitalizing like a learning experience. So without further ado, let's go to the first part to think about how we create content for teenager learners. So we integrate a lot of teen-friendly like reading lessons. We have a lot of grammar, animations. We have a lot of real-world activities, and also gamified digital activities to keep these teenagers engaged. So as you can see, for example, we will have every unit like starts with a very good unit opener. We will have videos to let me check if I have. I think I have put my the internet. Okay, looks good. So we will have unit openers. Uh, I think yeah, the internet is not very stable, but the idea is we will have a documentary video to open the unit. So I'm going to play the video for you, not from the website, but from my computer. That is the unit opening video for students to get engaged with the topic.
Hello friends, my name is Storm and I'm what you might call a digital creative. That means I do more than one job in the creative sector. If you speak to most people in the arts, we become generalists. That's because it's usually more useful and more beneficial to have more than one skill in this field. I started my journey in animation. Animation is basically...
Yeah, so if you watch this documentary style video, you will get a feeling that these videos look very similar to the videos the students will watch on YouTube or TikTok or some other like video platforms. So these videos are created to attract the students like interests, to make them feel team friendly and also feel familiar. To engage the students with some team friendly content is the key in the unit opener. So we have this unit opener documentary videos to attract the students' attention at the beginning of the class, and also to introduce the topic to the students. And after that, you can see we will have a focus on the reading at the beginning of the unit. And for each lesson, we will have a like a exam focus, which we will introduce later very soon. So for the teen-friendly content, we not only have that video, we also have the reading, which is really, really relevant and up to date. We have these reading content up to date. And also, for example, the social media effect is very relevant to the students' day-to-day life. So it's a way, to attract teenagers, visually. And also for the exam preparation, as I mentioned, we will have an exam focus for each skill in each unit. So for reading, I think we had the 4 option multiple choice, right? It's a task type from the B1 preliminary, like a reading exam. And also we will have the optimize your exam like part, which we will focus on exam skills and exam strategies. So the idea is to give students like a full preparation with the exam. There will be a lot of opportunities to get ready with the exam skills and the strategies. Yeah, a lot of opportunities to practice for the exams as well. And also, there will be a link to the exam like task type and exam task structure type task content as well. And for this small icon here, probably can't see it very well, but I can, yeah. So this small icon here is an earth, right? This earth is more about how to link the students' learning with some universal topics and using critical thinking skills to help the students to link their unit topic with an SDG goal, which is Sustainable Development Goals. They will be talking about issues happening around them and around the world. So it will be very up to date, and it's all linked to the students like day-to-day life and the world they have been living. Yeah, wait a second. It's oops. Yes, make it cool. And there will be a lot of activities for them to prepare for their thinking skills as well, so that you will find the thinking boxes at the end of the section to encourage students to reflect on the topic, to think about what they have read, what they have watched in these videos. And then we will have more in content for grammar learning. So the students will have grammar lessons, 2 grammar lessons in each unit. So optimized stars will feature different animated videos to teach the students grammars. And the students will have opportunities to practice, to watch the videos, to learn the grammar, to practice the grammar, and also to work progressively with more challenging tasks with the language. Yep, and the new digital practice activities will also offer students some like teen-friendly practice as well. So we will have apps, we will have platforms for students to learn digitally. So let me show you the grammar video maybe really quickly to give you an idea about how the grammar is presented in a more like a teenager-friendly way.
You can count some things, but you can't count others. Some of these words are countable. They can be singular or plural. Some of them are uncountable. There's no plural form of these words. And some of them can be either, depending on the context.
Yes, so this is a type of grammar video we have in Optimized Stars. The idea is to present the grammar visually for the students to understand and also make them more visually attractive for teenagers, yeah, to get them understand the grammar, use the grammar, and make output with the grammar structures using these animations. Yes. And moving on to the vocabulary lessons. So we will include very detailed grammar, like vocabulary reference in the students' back pages, in the back of the student book, and encourage them to learn. But also we have a lot of practice in the student book and in the workbook for students to get ready with the vocabulary. And there will be word patterns, as you can see here. So we actually have a lot of word pattern practice for the students. So it's more about the vocabulary, like the way how the words is formed. So we teach them to learn the patterns about forming words. Yeah, it helps with their meta knowledge about word formation and help them to remember the words even more easily. So that's the idea of how we introduce like a vocabulary to the students for them to work together with their language. Yeah. So the vocabulary lesson with reference at the back and also the word like patterns structure help them to remember the words. And moving to the listening lesson. So in the listening lesson, we have again the exam focus will be there. Yeah, the students will have an opportunity to have to learn about exam skills. For example, listening for attitude and opinion is the focus of this lesson. The students will have exam strategies here in optimize your exam sector. So there will be a lot of different opportunities for them to practice for the exam with a focus on the listening, like a 3 optional multiple choice, for example, in this lesson. So it's very specific and explicit for the students to understand how they can be prepared with this task type in the exam. At the same time, there will be a lot of relevant and engaging content for them to practice with the 4 skills. Yeah, listening, reading, speaking, and writing. For the grammar lesson again, yeah, this is the second part of the grammar. Yeah, following the same similar structure like the first grammar lesson. And for the speaking lesson, I think we have just went through a whole lesson structure, right? The lesson plan can be created based on this speaking lesson. And after the speaking lesson, we will have another like a language in use. There will be an exam focus as well, but it's more about how to apply the language in a real life. So using the content learned in the previous lessons to apply what they have learned in a real life use context. And at the end, there will be a writing lesson. Yeah, it will have a focus on the writing exam as well. But together, it's a wrap up for the whole unit. So this is how you can see a whole unit is structured. And also we will have a staged writing, like process writing for the students to go through. So there will be different stages. So 7 stages for them to compose their writing, and starting from brainstorming all the way to planning to writing and to checking. And we will have learning to learn strategies for them to understand the ways of learning at the end. And together with a review lesson, that is a whole unit for optimized stars. Yeah, that is how we have structured the whole unit as like an exam preparation course, at the same time to balance the language learning in a real life communicative context. Okay, so that's how we see the whole language, the whole unit. And after that, I'm going to quickly go through the key features for you. So if we, when we think about this course, Optimize Stars, we actually have these things in mind into this toolkit for teenagers to get prepared with their exam preparation. So as I mentioned, exam preparation is at its heart. We have all of these exam skills, optimize your exam boxes in the class, in the student book, in the teacher's book, in the workbook to get students ready for the exams, focusing on the detailed skills and strategies. And also we will have special pages in the student book. It's called Optimize Your Exam, B1 Preliminary for Schools or A2 Key for Schools. So these pages will have a more focused practice for the students with very exam styled practice for them to do a mock, yeah, to practice. And also we want to keep the students motivation high. So we will prepare these videos for them. So this video is a speaking video. Sorry if the internet maybe is not good, so I cannot play it, but it's more of a speaking video of the class of the exam. So the students will be able to watch how a speaking exam is like and get prepared with the speaking as well. And the content, as I mentioned, it's all teenager friendly. We have the reading, we have the skills, we have the media, yeah, all the videos. We also have the apps. So the students will be able to use these apps, these platforms, using these digitalized activities and digitalized tools very, very easily. And it fits their lifestyle, it fits the way they learn. So it's all designed for teenagers to learn the language. And the students' well-being part, we have the meditation like sector for the students to take a moment to stop, to release their like stress, to get ready, to learn and focus. So these like optimize your well-being like sections are there to get both you and your students to relax while preparing for exams, and always stay focused and be prepared to learn. And as I mentioned, there are 10 levels for the program. We not only have like optimized stars for teenagers, we also have Academy Stars second edition for primary students. So if they want to start earlier with their Cambridge Young Learners exam preparation, Academy Stars can serve for the first 6 levels, and then moving on to the teenager for the optimized stars for another 6 levels. So it's a complete program for 10 levels. Yeah. So there are more options for schools and students. And for teachers, we have prepared the teacher's book, the online assessment tool, the teacher's resource center, the on-to-go practice on iPad or on the PC or on the phone, and also a lot of teachers' digital tools like the digital student's book, digital workbook. So it's very easy for teachers to plan your lessons and also to use all these assessment or a lot of extra digital tools, digital resources for lesson planning. So it should be very easy for teachers to use and to get your students for exam preparation and to deliver your lessons. So as a nutshell, for optimized stars, we have put all the tools into a kit to make students and teachers very easy to get prepared for the exam. At the same time, to get students motivated, to engage teenagers with a lot of resourceful like content, a lot of media, a lot of exam tips and skills and strategies, and a lot of scaffolded practice, and also a lot of well-being tips and hints. So this course is all about getting students ready for exam and also balancing the motivation and engagement of learning English. So it's a good balanced way to deliver and to engage your teenager students. So that is an introduction about the optimized stars. If you are interested, you can scan this QR code or use the link in the chat to download a sample unit or to have a check of the website on our page. So there are, I think the link is already in the chat. There are information and the materials you can download, to look into in details. So thank you very much again for your time. Thank you very much again for your time. And I'm going to share the lesson plan in the chat as well. So wait a second. The lesson plan I have shared in the first hour, I think we have got a link to share in the chat, so you can download that lesson plan easily. So I'm going to share this link for you. So I have put the lesson plan into a PDF file that you can download and adapt to in your classroom lesson planning. And don't forget, we have another session coming up on Thursday. See you very soon on Thursday. So bye-bye.